Hello, my name is Georgia Newman. I am the Network Manager and founder for the Isle of Wight Creative Network, and welcome to our creative Zoom session.
Understanding and looking at the outcomes that we want to see from Let's Create, and then identifying which of those specifically that your project would relate to is a critical part of making an application.
There's a really interesting thing in business, and that is there's a principle by a guy called Pareto, which is called the 80-20 principle.
Almost slightly opaque, slightly see-through white material that's stretched over the inside of it so that you can put it in front of a light source and it actually diffuses it.
For artists to be able to go to things that are the equivalent of like professional development conferences or, like academic conferences, it's quite difficult, it's quite inaccessible to go to those things.
So you might actually say, right, I'm selling to galleries and that's 80% of my revenue, but 20% of my revenue is over here in business to consumer. So actually both markets are lucrative and that's fine.
What's your passion? Not what do you do, what's your passion?
But it really does provide a transparent place for you to show your work.
I like to encourage you to think big. Not what you think is possible right now, but think big.
So again, if you're thinking about traveling in straight lines, it hits it and then goes out in all different directions. So your light source essentially becomes bigger.
And that's, I think, what I mean when I say that sometimes our personal stuff gets in the way of our creative business stuff. Sometimes our personal beliefs, be it that you can do it or be it that you can't do it, get in the way of whether you'd succeed or not.
In your state of overwhelm and panic about trying to do everything and perhaps not understanding how to run a business, don't be too hard on yourself. You don't have to do it all on your own. There's other people out there that can help you and support you on your journey.
I think honestly it's a very natural reaction to be overwhelmed and go, oh God, I don't really know where to start, or I don't really know an awful lot about this and all that sort of thing.
You don't need to be an extrovert to sell, you just need to be authentically you.
We was discussing creative collaboration in the biosphere.
They seek to apply and they figure out how to do it as they go along, and they communicate with one another about what works and what doesn't work, how to make high levels of ecological and cultural value actually useful.
Put that in the intertidal and it would just go nuts. It would just go absolutely nuts. Barnacles would trace this pattern and just enhance it. And it's a curious decorative object that has a positive impact on the natural world.
It's about putting to work the natural and cultural identity of the island in a way that supports life now.
I mean, I think it's a fantastic initiative and that we got the biosphere status.
I think that's it, sort of demystifying that kind of the tourist board speak and what it actually means and how you can actively sort of involve yourself in it.
It's always important to put yourself as best you can inside of the head of the person who is on the other side of the table, if you like.
I think networking gets thrown around as if it's some kind of dirty word, but actually if part of your networking is a disco, then that's all right.
So give them tools and methods and things, but give them that freedom to explore sort of within the remits of what you're doing, because then they have a voice as well and they're really engaging with themselves at that point.
What are their needs and problems and challenges? And if you're asking for something from them, how can you make that as easy for them as possible?
Cheer ourselves on. So support your creative friends and colleagues through cheering and amplifying events and achievements, because the context for being a practitioner in this sector is really challenging. So just remember your network, and there's such good stuff happening.
It's also really nice to see you all and to hear a bit about what's going on over on the island. Like it sounds all like really exciting, good things.
Massive thank you for delivering this really, really insightful talk, and everyone else that's participated. Thank you very much, everyone. See you all soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.